Okay, so to make a long story short, when trying to review all of Goldberg season one, I ended up accidentally pushing Dinosaur season two to the side. So even though my 1 year anniversary, I did say I'd do Dinosaur season two this weekend. I'm sorry to admit you'll probably have to wait till this week or maybe even next weekend before we get that review. Sorry, genuinely my bad with that one. The good news is now I can focus on a director commentary again. Feels like a hot minute since I've done one of those. Do you even remember these videos? They're so lost media, bro. For real though, let's get into this. I don't really think I need to say much about the in between seasons two and three. I knew that pretty much same old, same old. I want it to be bigger and better. I'm still happy with how season two turned out, but I want season three to again be an improvement. All that jazz. So with that, let's get into the actual episodes and see pretty much my thought process behind them. Starting off, we have Bros Come in all shapes and sizes. In what I believe was the season one director commentary, I asked you guys if you would be okay if I introduced some new characters. I know introducing new characters can often come off as gimmicky and all that, so I really didn't want to come off like that. I didn't want to be all gimmicky and dumb, but a commenter actually said, "Yeah, you should do it," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool beans, I'll do it." I wanted to make this character and the new character other new character who shows up later in the season. I want them to have unique designs. I didn't want them to just be another basic stick figure because I think it's better if I draw more dynamic characters. And the character I came up with was Jay Jr. I realized that during season two, I barely did anything with Silent J, so I wanted him to do more. I realized that his whole mute shtick is I still like Silent J, but I realized he probably should have more to do than just being mute because how you can't really do a massive amount with that. So. So I realized, hey, maybe I should actually make this new character kind of related to Silent J. And then I thought it'd be cool if I also had Belson, like a co-parent with him and all that. So fun fact: a few days ago, my brother was talking about the show with me because he knows about the show. And he straight up thought that they were gay. Belson and Silent J were gay because they have a son. I had to try to explain to him about what the co-parenting idea and how they're just friends that so happen to have a kid together. That's the joke. And then he thought I was being homophobic by not just admitting they were gay. Like, bro, bro. I'm not intending to make them gay, but you know what? Headcanons are headcanons, bro. I guess my brother headcanons they're gay or something. Anyway, I just liked the idea. This also helped me come up with the character design. He can have legs, but he can't be. Maybe he shouldn't have arms like Belson. He's kind of just Belson, but with legs, and it gets a bit smaller. I remember specifically this one felt like a bit of a longer episode to write. I remember my dog was with me on the bed when I was writing it, and I was just trying to come up with it, and it made it a little awkward to sit because usually I have this spot on my bed, and usually this space is kind of just like my free space. But I had to sit over there because my dog was on here because I came home from school and wrote this, so it was a whole thing. But in the end, this is probably one of my favorite episodes I've written so far. I'm very much proud of this one. The views were also higher than I thought they would be, so that's always good, especially now in season four. The newest Bros episode has done greatly. Very proud of that. But other than that, season four has been doing not great in the view department. Next up is starring good old Quincy. This one I have less to explain on. At the time, at the time I was making this episode, I was subscribed to this Peanuts channel, aka Charlie Brown. I prefer calling it Charlie Brown, but man, I am sidetracking for no reason. My apologies. Anyway, but I was subscribed to this Charlie Brown channel, and it made me think, hey, maybe I should just do this. It was kind of easy to think of Mac as the Lucy and Quincy as the Charlie Brown. I tried up making their character design slightly different to like fit the mold better. And come on, what's more iconic than the football gag? We all know it. So I pretty much went with that. Not a ton else to explain. I was trying to like again. I'm pretty sure I explained this in the past, but I don't usually try to parody that much of my shows because I simply just don't think I'll be that good at it. This isn't like Robot Chicken where the whole point of the show is just to parody pop culture. It's meant to be more of a rare thing if I genuinely just have a good idea for it, or if you're in my Discord and yeah, you have a good idea in the description. Come on, join the Discord, bro. Become a writer for the show. If you're watching your director commentary, you clearly like the show, so just join the Discord. Nah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I won't bite. Or will I? So yeah, I thought it'd be fun to do a quick little parody. I thought it'd be good enough. 3. When Bossy meets Cutie. Since Jay Jr. was still a new character, I wanted to see him at least interact with a beta with at least someone to really prove that he is legit a member of the cast and should be treated as such. And I thought it would be fun to take Elmer, who at this point, Elmer and Silent J are like they clearly have a dynamic going on, which I when I made them interact in all the way back in Bros season 1 episode 2, I did not intend for that, but yeah, so far they've mostly interacted with each other. I really gotta change that. Hopefully, I come up with an idea. Well, Silent J is already doing a bit more, but Elmer, I really gotta develop him more. I'm gonna try to do more with Elmer. Hopefully, and if you watch a season 4 episode where Elmer does something more unique, you'll be like, oh, this is where Z-Man was talking about this. But yeah, anyway, I thought it would just be a cute little subversion. I know it's not the most probably funniest episode, but it was meant to be more of like a cute little thing. Like, oh, because in his section in the POV dating the bros episode from season 2, I wanted to be kind of clear that Elmer has like a softer side to him. I guess you can kind of call him a Tashunderary, or however the hell you're supposed to properly pronounce that. So yeah, I thought it'd be a cute little idea to have him secretly find Jay Jr. extremely cute. Elmer can care deep down. He's just really ragey, bro. Bro's like Belson from regular show, not Belson, but Benson from regular show. The bro just always be mad, bro. Why he tweaking? No. 4. Don't break that wall, Connor. This one is another. This one I realized I always envisioned Crazy Connor to like break the fourth wall and all that, but I realized, oh man, like it's not. Why haven't I done that yet? And so I decided maybe I should do this. I had the idea for a while beyond this point to make Isaac more into comics, kind of like how Matt and Shrey have Stan and Kyle, and how Seth MacFarlane has Brian. I'm thinking about maybe making Isaac more of my self insert. I mean, already he's like Brian because I just use my regular voice for Isaac. I don't really change it up. Partially because doing like 12 voices could be tough. Not even counting silly tunes where I have to try to make him even more distinct. So yeah, I thought it'd be good to make Isaac more into writing comics himself, and then I thought it'd be funny to hey maybe finally do something with this with Connor, this personal trait he has, that personality trait. Just have them interact about it, and I thought it turned out pretty good. Thought it turned out pretty funny. Yeah, I think it worked really well, especially since Connor genuinely just gets annoyed at Bro. Well, I thought that was funny. I thought that was a good trying to make his character a bit more distinct. You know what I'm saying? 5. The Almighty Sword. Okay, so at the end of King Wallace from season 2, I gave Isaac a knife. Best segue into talking about an episode, but I gave him a knife, and I decided in this one just to give him a sword, and that made me realize Isaac should have an affinity for weapons, maybe give him a personality trait. Now, this isn't like me, because that's really more of my brother. He loves weapons. Same brother who thinks Belson and Silent J are gay, by the way, so I don't know what that says about his character, but it says something, mate. It says something. Why did I say mate? I'm nowhere near qualified enough to say mate, bro. Yeah, pretty simple one. I wanted to have a character die. Perfect segue away from that. Man, I'm not doing well for myself right now, but Because I do have this whole recovery machine thing, so I could pretty much allow the characters to die at any point, but I haven't really used that yet, so at least that often. So I wanted to use it again, and come on, Quincy's right there, just begging it for death. Bro is like munchy for that death, bro. So I thought, hey, throw him in there, and of course, if I just be a total dick. I'm gonna be real, no, didn't expect this one to get as many views as it did. This is one of the rare ones that got like 1,000 views, and I just like it. Obviously, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of almost every Bros episode, even if there are things I realize I can do better. But genuinely shocked that this is the one that where it's like, oh yeah, 1,000 views. Probably because of the song I chose, which isn't even a song. Maybe just because of the background noise that I chose for that one. That's probably it. Halfway through, getting on to week 2, we have a new challenger approaches. Right from the beginning, I had the plan to like, okay, this week I introduce this new character, and the next week I'll introduce the next new character. And this time, you know who it is, Vile Victor. I mean, Mac and Elmer and all the characters at some point could be a bit antagonistic and all that, but I thought it would be cool to have like a real concrete villain, a real nasty, real meanie head, you know. Well, but it's still Bros, so I wanted to be like a dumb reason why he's all evil. So I thought it'd just be funny if, hey, what if Bros just annoyed at Isaac? It just seemed like a funny idea, so I just went for it. You know, so if Isaac talk with Mac, because Mac doesn't really talk to people that often, so I thought that could be a fun little switch up. And Mac's comment at the end about him like saying, "Oh, don't worry about him, bro." Well, it's me kind of trying to show them, almost kind of like Elmer. Mac also has a nicer side to him. Mac is just one of those people who's just so self-centered that you can't even see like how he could be nice to people and all that. Sorry, it's 11 p.m. for me right now, so not the best for me right now. And it would be Vile Victor, being a member of the cast. I wanted his name to be like a little thing. I guess in a way, Jay Jr. is also like that, but like because we got Crazy Connor, but I would we need more of that alliteration. We need Vile Victor, Jay Jr. I don't know why, but I just like names that are that could be used as alliteration, like Daffy Duck or Bugs Bunny or that type of thing. Vile Victor. Oh yeah, and if you want to know what that little thing on his side that's on his hands, I got inspired by Wade the Duck from Garfield and Friends. How he has a little thing on his belt. I thought that was cool, so I wanted to kind of copy that. And now that I said it out loud, and now you guys are gonna know, and I'm gonna look way less cool for coming up with that character design. 7 Robo Helper 27,000. This one's just a sequel to Teleporter 4000 from all the way back in season 1. Wanted to do a sequel because I realized, hey, that was a perfectly good idea. Don't make it machines. I got to go back to that. So we did. I know I already did a stand-up joke in Silly Tunes, so I felt a bit bad repeating it because I was like, is this lame? Because I already did a stand-up joke, but I think it's different enough to where people hopefully don't mind it. Or at least I felt okay at drawing it and using it again. I wanted Don's machine to fail in a different way, and I also now wanted to make it a thing where all of Don's machines is say trademarked. Kind of feel bad that I trademarked God trademarked because that feels kind of random and not really part of the running gag. But what can you do now? That Z-Man who's writing that episode didn't realize that next season he'd be wanting to make this more of a running theme. 8 needing support. Okay, so I wanted to try my hands at a more emotional episode. I thought, okay, hey, maybe what if because these characters are supposed to be jokes, but I want them to have like some seriousness to them, like a almost kind of like Simpsons, where it's like yeah, a lot of it's jokes and all that, but there is still a real side of a more human side of these characters that we can see sometimes. And that's what I wanted to do with this episode. I thought it would be funny to bring back Don's little thing again. That slight serialization and that slight continuity, where it's like it doesn't really matter if you didn't see that a past episode, but if you have seen it, then you're like, aha, that's kind of cool. And then, of course, Felix, not Felix, but he was in the episode. Silent J's family was there for him, his co dad, and then also his son. And of course, the worst thing of all was obviously having to talk to Quincy. Ew. Imagine talking to Quincy. That's so yucky. 9. Stray Dog. Okay, so this was a cool one, I thought. This is an idea I had for a while. I've always wanted to draw a dog for the longest time, but I'm still so, like, I know I can't draw for shit, so part of me kind of knew, like, oh man, what am I gonna do? So this is pretty much my best idea. I thought, hey, I'll try it. Turned out better than expected. Ended up being a funny little piece. I have nothing more to add. Mac was just munchy, but too lazy to just get rid of the munchy himself. And wrapping up season 3, we have Isaac Party 2, or Isaac Party II. Only you went with the Roman numerals because I thought it was funny, not for any real reason. Yeah, every odd season will have an Isaac Party because I think Mario Party is a good thing to make multiple jokes off of. I probably will do multiple Mario Karts whenever I get around to doing Mario Kart parodies and all that stuff, but I think Mario Party is a good one to be the major one of these Mario parodies. I do purely plan to, at least for now, to make them spin-off stuff only. I don't know, maybe I'll eventually get around to doing some of the more mainline stuff, but for now I'm mostly focusing on side stuff. Don't have much to say. We actually get to see them play the game this time, so that's cool. Not really a ton of new additions, just introducing Vile Victor as Bowser and his little arm thing, little thing on the side as Bowser Jr. Gonna check real quick. Gonna quickly check and make sure if I had no one else got introduced in this one, right? No one else was really doing much, right? Or am I being stupid? Yeah, no, they were the only characters newly introduced in this one. Or by that I mean introduced into the Mario parody world. So far, we got Isaac as Mario, Dawn as Luigi, Mac as Wario, Quincy as Peach, Belson as Toad, and now Val Victor as Bowser/Bowser Jr. Who will see what I got cooking up in season 5 when I get that Isaac Party 3, which will actually be like the 50th episode. Jeez, I do not want to be thinking about the fact I'm making 50 Bros episodes right now. Well, with that, thank you all so much for watching this director commentary. I don't have much else to say. I hope you guys are still enjoying these. Let me, if you have any other random little questions or little things you want me to talk about regarding the Bros, then just let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate for staying and listening to me yap about this thing I make.